Dear students, now we are moving to the germ layers and derivatives. In the previous class or the last class we have seen, we have just mentioned what is mean by germ layers, and now we are discussing about the detail of what are the different types of the germ layers and from which germ layers the particular organs are developed. So let's move. I told you that the germ layers are generally formed just after the gastrulation process. You may be knowing that what is meant by gastrulation. Gastrulation, we can also say that it is a morphogenetic movement. That means after the fertilization is over, the zygote will be formed. The zygote undergoes division, results in the formation of morula, then into blastula, and further the blastula is formed. The different part of the blastula undergoes a movement that is called gastrulation. This movement is generally concerned with their final position in the embryo. So that is called gastrulation, and after gastrulation, three different germ layers are formed. They are called ectoderm, mesoderm as well as endoderm. What does mean by ectodermal derivatives? The ectoderm, we know that it is the most outermost layer, and this is and from this epidermal ectoderm or ectoderm, these kinds of derivatives are generally formed. That means skin derivatives. Like skin derivatives are actually the hair, feather, nails, scales, claws, sweat glands, mammary glands, etc. These are skin derivatives. And the stomodium, we know that stomodium as well as proctodium are the two different parts of the alimentary canal. Then olfactory organs, that is smelling organs or nose, then lens, auditory vesicles and anterior pituitary. So all these organs are derived from the ectoderms. Then comes the neural tube. The neural tube is nothing but it is including the brain, nervous system, that is including the brain as well as the spinal cord, peripheral nerves, rods and cones, optic nerves, posterior pituitary as well as receptors of skin. So the neural tube is also developed from this epidermal ectoderm or ectodermal derivatives. Then neural crust. Neural crust generally includes the ganglions and small nerves, includes the ganglia, sensory nerves, branchial skeletons, adrenal medulla as well as chromatophores. So these are the derivatives of ectoderms. Then comes the mesoderms. The mesodermal regions are actually the middle portion. They generally consisting of notochord. Epimeus. Epimeus generally includes the dermis. Dermis means the region which is generally formed just below the epidermis. That is, we can say that dermatome. Another name is called dermatome. Then vertebral column, which is sometimes called a sclerotome, and the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton generally is we know that the skeletal system has been divided into different forms, that is called the axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. So this appendicular skeleton generally includes myotomes and muscle fibers. So all these muscles are generally formed from this mesodermal derivative. So this dermis, vertebral column and appendicular skeleton together are called the epimeus. So these epimeus are developed from this mesoderm. Then another structure is called the excretory as well as reproductive organs. That is kidney, protonephric, mesonephric as well as metanephric kidneys, and the reproductive organs like a testis and ovary. All these structures are formed from the mesomere or the middle germ layer. Then comes the hypomere. Hypomere generally includes a somatic layer, splanchnic layer as well as a serum. You may be knowing that this we will be discussing later what is meant by this somatic layer as well as splanchnic layer in detail in the development biology or the developmental process of different kinds of organisms. So we will discuss there. So this hypomere is also developed from this mesoderm. Then comes the endodermal derivatives. Endoderm, we know that endoderm is actually the innermost region of the gastrula, and this endodermal derivative generally includes the digestive tract, liver and pancreas, respiratory system, urinary bladder, thyroid as well as parathyroid gland, thymus, auditory tube, tympanum, eustachian tube, then vagina, urethra and associated reproductive glands. So these generally includes endodermal derivatives. So that's all about the germ layers as well as the derivatives of these three germ layers. I hope you understood. This is a very simple topic. Germ layers are nothing but these are the three different layers which is generally formed just after the gastrulation process of an embryo. And different kinds of derivatives are formed from this three distinct germ layers as just mentioned above. So if you have any doubt, please do in the comment section. Thank you.